Great. Well, it looks like we've got enough people to start. I think we may as well go ahead and do that.
Yeah, and Jesse,
Is
I
that
think it's Miranda. I think this is your group.
okay? Perfect. Great. Well, we'll say call to order 702. We have Brian, Sam, Eric, myself, Jesse. Um, so we are meeting tonight because the town and therefore PROSAB have been asked us to vote on whether we endorse Boulder Watershed Collective and the town to move forward with this forest restoration project development grant. Would you like to present some, Rick or Miranda? Or, I mean,
Well, I thought
otherwise I've
Maya
got,
was going to be here, so I'm kind of bummed that she's not. But
yeah.
long story short, is Maya's looking to apply for funding to update the Colorado Wildfire Protection Plan. And Rick, remind me for the 100th time, the last one was done in 09, right?
Oh,
Yeah, 09 or 2010. I'm not
Okay.
sure when it was.
So about 10 years ago. So, kind of,
yeah.
while it never expires, it's like a comprehensive plan. There's obviously benefit in upgrading it. So if you see in the document, they're really looking to kind of fund it in its entirety, supporting us with that rewrite and hiring the necessary consultant to do the rewrite. But I think kind of the question posed to town staff was, A, do you want this? Are we interested in a rewrite? And then B, would we be open to donating some matching funds, which of course just make the grant that much more, it's that much more competitive. Now, Maya did say 5,000. We interpret that as 5,000 split between fire department and town of Nederland. However, I do think that there is some benefit in considering 5 and 5. It'll just obviously help that much more and show the town is financially committed to this just as much as the Watershed Collective is. So you have their kind of concept paper, which outlines exactly the way in which they would approach that. But I think that's really your two questions before you tonight is really, one, do you support this, updating the CWPP? And two, are we willing to match funds? And if so, how much?
Question for Rick. I mean, it sounds like the fire department is interested in updating the CWPP. What benefits or what changes have been made? Do you know?
Yeah, we're absolutely interested in updating the plan. Yeah. Part of it is the plans have changed over the years. They've evolved a bit, so the update to it would be somewhat different. I can't tell you all of those things offhand that have changed, but it is kind of a different style to them from what I've been hearing about. The other good thing about this grant is that it gives us the mitigation projects that are essentially that quote shovel ready unquote, that when we're looking for bigger grants to actually get them done, having projects ready to go and having that updated CWPP is really crucial for getting those next level grants.
Great. Yeah, it sounds like it includes kind of mitigation planning and outreach and kind of all sorts of valuable components. Does anyone else have any questions on the concept paper or any of it?
Well, the only thing I have no idea about, and hopefully Miranda can fill us in, is like I have no idea whether the town has budget for $2,500 or $5,000, or I feel underqualified to say the amount. But I do feel qualified to vote. Like, yes, we can support this, but I don't know the amount that we can support it by.
So I think you all can make that decision. I talked to Trustee Coombs Ismail about this, that you've got the Eldora money at the tune of like 36,000, plus the Tungsten Village money at the tune of 105,000, and this would just come out of those funds. Kind of a drop in the bucket, I would argue, but what I do like about the concept paper is the strategy in where they talk about determining priority areas. I think that's what we've struggled with, is like, if we ever got a mitigation grant, which is what Rick and I recently met about, it was like not even worth applying for because we don't even know what's number one. And so this would help us strategize, where do we put the energy? And then we could start to use our funds to match future grants to mitigate like the Wingate property or pocket parks. But having just even that prioritization of areas would be huge. So that's where the money would come from, Brian, is probably like that Eldora fund. We just deduct 5,000 from that pool of money you already have.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
I mean, my question with that, the funding thing is, I thought it was $12,000 for the Eldora. I could be totally wrong. This is just what I remember hearing. I mean, I thought it was my understanding that it was earmarked for the restoration of Gershio or some other related park restoration.
So I think that was verbally stated, but nothing in the Eldora agreement actually speaks to that. I think that that's just a spoken arrangement, not a written. And so I do agree, and that's why the funds could come really out of either bucket. But I'm pretty sure it's closer to 36. I think 12 was just what we were considering for a match at one point in time for GoCo, so that we left ourselves a little bit. I can confirm that. But yeah, there's nothing in the agreement itself that says it has to go back to Gershio.
Well, that's great. I didn't realize the tungsten one was so high too. So
yeah. So I mean, this is like really minor. Even if you look at the Conservation Trust Fund, it's all pretty minor in the grand scheme of things. But I do think the outcome is huge. Just again, back to that list. So we could say like now we have a CWPP. We need 50,000 in this grant to mitigate, whatever it might be, and we have that documented instead of just we feel like we should mitigate this property.
Yeah. Does anyone have thoughts about the amount? Whether we would prefer, the 5,000? Do you have any ideas?
We put up 5,000 from town.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
And then I think that Rick would
that's
take that back to his team about like what they would match.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we could do 5. We prefer not to, unless, of course, there's and I was like hoping Maya would be here so we'd get some feel from her as to how much more beneficial, double that amount.
Yeah.
We'll find out for sure if that's really worth it. But I did talk to the board president today. We do have 5K. We don't have a whole extra 150K like you guys seem to, that we could maybe spend on this, but we do have 5K that we could put into it if that's what the decision is here. And it would have to go to our board. We'd have to do a special meeting here shortly to get that approved as well.
I don't think that we have to be even from town and the fire protection district. I think whatever
that's true.
You guys can, I think it's good. Right now I'm seeing that there's 0 match in their concept paper, right? It's like a $69,000 total budget for this update, and they have not listed any matching funds at all. So it sounds good to me that the concept paper was accepted already, right? So that's what Maya it was already accepted with 0 matching funds. So we should be okay, I think, if we just match a little bit.
Yeah, somewhere between like 1,000 to like 2,500. It sounds like they're just interested in having a diverse source of funds. So anything would be something.
So are you thinking the town would do the 5,000, and that anything really the fire department can add in is just extra?
I think so.
I think it's a good way to go about it. I agree.
Okay.
I think the fire department though should contribute.
Yes, I agree completely, and we will. I'll also get with Maya and see if she has a feeling for what level might help us out the best, and I'll take that to our board and see where they want to go with it.
Yeah, I think that understanding would make a difference in just understanding the amount overall and how we get there. It seems like a good thing though.
And I'm sending her. She responded that she was going to make it, so something must have come up.
Maybe something came up.
Yeah, I'll also send this email, Rick, just a follow up once you all have taken a vote, and asking that question of what would make us competitive. And I'll at least just put Eric and Jesse. I'll put you on this for now.
Well, I would
That
move
sounds
that
great.
that PROSAB recommend to the BOT that we pursue this with the Boulder Watershed of $5,000 to this
Okay.
AIM grant.
Are you moving?
Great.
Yeah.
He is making a motion.
All right, I second your motion, Eric.
All right, let's take a roll call on the votes there. Eric,
Yep.
you've already said yes. Brian
Yes.
said yes. Sam,
Yes.
Me, yes. So the only other thing too, I wanted just to quick question on. We've been asked to write a letter of support. So when do we need to have that by?
So it would be, I mean, it would be great to put it in the board packet for them to sign off on. And so by Friday, is that
Okay.
someone feeling really?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, cool. That'd be great.
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 And I think
anything else we
Jesse,
need to do?
that one of the big points on that letter of support could be
Yeah.
that Nederland just goes.
Eric, I'm turning off your video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is
could
it
you
cut
repeat that,
out?
Eric? We cut it
To that,
Try again.
Sure, if
that
it was me,
CPOP.
like my
No, take
Wi-Fi.
two.
Okay.
Can you hear
Eric, are
me?
you there? Yep.
Now I
I'm
can
here.
hear.
Sorry, there's quite a delay.
Yeah, try again. You said one of the points could be. Oh, so
Just
close
wanted
to
to
hearing
make
it.
sure. Right, one could be
Sorry.
that just getting through that CPAW
Yeah.
analysis, one of the recommendations was to update
So close.
CWD beyond that, and town doesn't even need to fund the whole thing. So this honestly is already something we should have been doing. Someone's just given us a gift of doing it for us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds good to me. I mean, it sounds like it has broad support. I mean,
Oh,
over
that
for our
all went
board
through.
and fire department and town and every most of it. I got most of that.
Great. So I think, Miranda, the way you were framing it at the beginning is that we, as a PROSAB, needed to agree on two things. I think one was whether to support, and two was the amount. Do you think we need another motion about the actual amount, or do you think we're good to go with Eric's single motion?
I think you're good. I guess when Eric, you said the amount, right?
Yes, I did in the motion.
Yeah, no, we're good. As long
Okay.
as we've captured both components.
Okay, that might have been
Great.
broken up on my end. So awesome.
Yeah,
I think
and I was like, I don't remember either. So okay, we've landed on the 5,000.
sweet.
Great. That sounds good.
Great.
Anything else?
So
Yeah,
then we'll
otherwise
bring
we'll
that before the Board of Trustees on the 9th. I know it's right before her grant, but that way they could apply then like the next day.
Okay.
So then, Rick, will you have an answer from your board by Friday?
I should be able to. I will email the board president here as soon as we're done and let him know the decision and let him know what's our drop dead date on it is next Tuesday.
Yeah.
We need to have it, but you want something by Friday if possible.
Yeah, or like Monday, if we could at least get something in the packet so the board can see it from the fire department, I think that would be cool.
Okay. I will work on that.
Great. Okay.
Sounds good. Anything
Shortest
else?
PROSAB meeting ever.
I know. I love the specials.
Can they all be this short?
That's an efficient.
Would somebody like to please make a motion to adjourn the meeting? Go on.
Sure. I move that we adjourn the special PROSAB meeting.
A second.
Thank you, everyone. Meeting
Thank
adjourned.
you.
Yep. See you
All right.
later.
Wham bam.